Really excited about preseason camp beginning to start here, and tomorrow the guys are checking in right now, and we're getting ready to start phase 4. And just completed phase 3, and it was great, just watching how our strength staff had opportunity just to watch the guys put weight on, take weight off, and just some of the guys like Malcolm Brown, little Malcolm, our running back. You look at his body, how he redefined his body, and then Big Malcolm was able to take some weight off, but just how our guys just got bigger and stronger and just looked like a complete football team. Now we go into phase 4. Now it's time to go build this football team. And then it's when you talk about just team chemistry, you talk about just being together, just talking about just fundamentals and technique, and then just watch a team, the leadership take over, and watch this team just develop before we get into that first week of get ready for our game against North Texas. But just to clear up some things, we had some players that have been dismissed from this football team. Shavosky Collins, Joe Bergeron, and Jalen Overstreet. They've all been granted a release to transfer wherever they like to. And then also some that has been suspended. Desmond Harrison, DeJay Johnson, and Josh Turner. Those guys have been suspended. Doesn't know just exactly the number of games, but games will be taken away from them. Because we have core values within this program. We expect our players to abide by those values. And you take away something that's important to them, and football is really important to a lot of these players, and just want to make sure that with the games that are taken away from them, that they understand just how important it is to represent this great university, not only on the field but off the field. And with the core values, and I say it all the time, if a young man don't want to be a part of this program, just go break a core value, and then you're telling me exactly where you want to stand. And it's honestly, it's treat women with respect, no drugs, no stealing, and no guns. Very simple. Values that we've all grown up on, values that are part of everyday living for a lot of us, and they just had to understand that. And it is a lot of pride within this program, and we want to bring that pride back. And that's why I'm so excited about getting started and just looking forward to this football team and just watching us each and every day. We're going to know this. We're going to have to build and build and build. And we're in the middle of summer school. So a lot of our players are still taking a lot of summer classes. So what we're going to have to do is just make sure that with practice that, we're going to give them a chance where they have to go to school. That's important. Academics is really important here. Had a really good summer with our academics. And it's amazing how our counselors with Randa and then with Eric over in the office, where they do an unbelievable job with our academics. And our players understand just how critical it is, because you're a student first, and then you're an athlete next. But I want them to walk out here with a degree where they understand just how important it is to get a degree from this great university. But like I said, really excited, can't wait to get started. It felt like it's been forever. I took this job in January, and then when you go through spring ball, and I was out on vacation this summer and ran into a Texas ex, and I had seen him on a tour in El Paso, and he said, God, Coach, it just feels like it was forever the last time I saw you. And I said, I know it. I'm getting kind of tired of it. I'm ready to get ball going. And I wish this vacation could end a lot sooner, but it's ended. So now it's time for us to go to work. But like I said, I'm so happy for us, and just looking forward to working with an outstanding football team.
Charles, just to be clear on the pre-suspensions, you said all 3 will miss a game for sure or not?
Yes, they will miss a game for sure.
Do you have any idea of how many games that'll be?
Have not decided on the number of games.
Was it the same offense they committed?
Oh, they committed the same offense, yes.
They did. Can you say what they did?
It's just one of our core values.
Will they be at practice tomorrow?
They will be at practice.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Desmond Harrison's development? He was somebody who needed to turn a real corner coming into this season. How much does this set him back, and just your thoughts on the offensive line?
Well, I don't think it sets him back. He has to understand that within the program there's rules that you abide by, and if you want to be a part of it, then there's no reason for you not to. I look at it like this: we have 85 guys on scholarship, and of that 85, if you have, you look at it, if 80 of them are doing it the right way, why can't the rest of them go do it the right way? And it should be done the right way within this program. And Desmond, the thing about him, he's very athletic. He has a lot of ability, a lot of potential. So I don't see it as a step back for him. I think he'll be able to get back, once he get back into get over his suspension, he'll be fine.
What is it, based on the last couple of weeks with all these players
difference? Is it a matter of you wanting to lay down the law, so to speak? I mean, surely these guys knew that there was no more room for error, I guess.
Well, they knew at the first day I took the job that, when I laid out the core values in our first team meeting and let them know that what the program is all about. And it's like anything, the main thing about this program is all about player development, and we want to make sure that with players that they have a chance to go develop and go be successful in life. We're not in the business of kicking young men out, because I say this all the time. The streets have a lot of people out there who's not doing anything with their lives. So and when you have a young man with potential and has everything given to him, then there's no reason for him not to go be successful. And we want to make sure that happens within this program.
Were all three of those players projected starters for each other?
Well, you talk about Desmond, Dejay, and Josh. They would have had a chance to go compete for a starting position.
Has there been any change with the position status of Sanders and Montgomery Andrew? Are they just suspended, or have they been removed from the team?
They've been removed from the team. Yes, they've been removed.
Charlie, the difference between the 3 guys who were dismissed and the 3 guys who you suspended, was it different rules that were broken, or were the first 3 repeat offenders? Can you kind of speak to that?
No, the 3 that was dismissed was repeat offenders, but it was constantly over and over and over. So at some point, you have to do something. And because, like I said, you have enough players within this program who do it the right way, and we want to make sure that the players who do it the right way, that they want to win. And when guys continuously do things they shouldn't be doing, then they send in a message that they really don't care. And I don't want that within our program.
Andre talked about at media day how he talked about he loved that. He said, I'll help coach weak guys out. I mean, have you had guys come to you and say, thank you, or yes, or anything like that?
No, I haven't had anyone just come and say thank you. But the players, they see it, and the good thing about it, when you have that number of players, they know what's going on. They know a lot more than we know. So when they see a guy dismissed from a program, for them, it's nothing unusual, because they're sitting there like at some point it was going to happen. And I had one of the players to tell me that. He said, Coach, at some point I knew you were going to do something. So I said, well, if you knew that, why did you keep doing it?
Charlie, or Montrell and Kendall, can they work their way back in, or are they dismissed?
No, they're dismissed. They can't work their way back.
Have you noticed any resentment from any of the team because of all the dismissals and suspensions?
Well, I haven't had noticed any, because I hadn't had a chance to I just been around them and then made the suspensions. But if you get resentment, we'll know, because someone's going to speak out. No one has spoken out.
You said after taking the job, you didn't want to run guys off. You wanted to nurture them. You just had no other option now, or why did that change?
We're always in the business of developing young men. You're always in the business of nurturing. You want to watch them mature and grow within your program. And that's what we're in this business for. We're not in the business of running anyone off. But at some point, when guys don't do what you ask them to do, then you have to, it's not so much you have to do something, but there's rules and there's policies. And if you say that's what we're about, then you have to be about that.
Coach, as guys are reporting today, and you said it's been long for you, sure it's been long for them, what's your message to the players?
Well, it's not so much I have a message, because it's always about step by step and accountability and responsibility. But just watch this team, how we just go out and take the field every day and go practice and just build each and every day. Let's not take a step back, because we don't have many practices before we go play that first game. But I want to see the leadership. I want to see guys start developing leadership within this program and let the leaders take over and start where they start realizing this is their football team.
No,
and
even most of the questions today are about guys that aren't here. What do you think about the guys that have been here? What do you think about the development? What do you think about the growth and the development of guys that didn't get in trouble and are still in the program?
Well, that's what you love, and that's what the total focus. And you're right, a lot of questions today about the guys who aren't here and who gone. Because I can't do nothing about that. They're gone now. But I got to focus now on the guys that are here. And you love their growth and development right now. Because if you look at it, the 4 guys that I took to media day, when you look at how far, and I told him, and Cedric Reed, when I first took the job, Cedric Reed and Quadre came into the office, and they said, we'd like to talk to you, because they were thinking about leaving early. And I said, okay, let's do this. Let's go watch some film. And I said, I really had a chance to really watch you guys played last season, but let's go watch the tape and let's watch the film and just see, and let me give you my opinion. So we watched the tape, and I said, I don't think you guys are ready, but if that's the decision you want to make, I don't know you well enough to talk you out of it, but I'd love for you to come back here one more year and play for this coaching staff that I'm getting ready to put together and play for this team. And we were just talking about that one night, the night that we were at dinner at the media day. We were joking about it because I told him, I said, woo, well, it's a good thing you boys didn't leave. Think about where you would be right now. But it's just to watch your development. Cedric Reed, how now he's developed his body, and now he's got so much bigger and stronger. And then Espinosa's he got his degree and has always been a leader guy you can look to. And then Malcolm Brown, how he's redefined his body. But Jonathan Gray, a guy who tears an Achilles, Hicks tears an Achilles, and they're coming back. But just to watch the guys that are here and how they really have bought into the program, and this senior class, and you can tell within the senior class, they want to go out here the right way. So it's our job as a coaching staff to make sure they leave here the right way, and they leave here with wins, and where they can say, you know what, we took a slide, but now we were able to get that foundation back, and we were able to build on that foundation and take this football team.
When you go to practice tomorrow, will you see a big difference from the spring, the fact that they've had that full off season with Pat and staff?
I think we will, but the major difference I think we'll see from spring to fall is how now they know how we work and they understand our tempo and what we're looking for. So now when they take the field, guys, because what happened in the spring is kind of the unknown, because they didn't really know us as a coaching staff and what to expect, and now they understand, hey, how hard we're looking for you to go. Sometimes you're not going at the level, at the pace that I'd like for you to go at. But I think it'll be a major difference tomorrow.
Charlie, on the suspensions and dismissals were it wide receiver and defensive back, where you weren't exactly deep to get in. Are those areas of concern for you?
Well, we signed 5 freshmen at wide receiver. It's a skill position. And the thing you have to look at, skill guys, a freshman can play at a skill position. So you can get those guys out there and they can get caught up to speed. And we have a lot of guys that within this program hasn't done anything yet. So it's time for them to go step up.
Charlie, talking about quarterback, you talked about David a lot. So where's Tyrone and Gerard as camp starts? Who's number 2 right now?
Well, Tyrone's going to be number 2 because he ended up, that's where he was in the spring. But you're going to have a chance to watch those guys go out and compete. And the reason why I said David, because of what he did when he was healthy, and even when he was healthy in the spring, how well he went out and competed. But you want to see competition. You want to see competition in every position. We talk about wide receiver, where we're losing some guys there. You like to see if those freshmen can come on, but you have a Peter Ward. You have guys now that are within his program that can contribute and that can help this team. You're looking at in the secondary, you look at Eccles, there's a guy right there, Colbert's a guy, Haynes. You have guys that are within this program. Now it's us as a coaching staff to make sure that we develop them and watch them develop on the football field.
You said at Big 12 Media Day you have a meeting, I think, that Friday about possible position changes. Do you see any guys you want to try at a different position?
No, I haven't changed it. We had that meeting, but we really didn't talk about a lot of guys just moving position-wise. But once we get out there and start moving around some, then we'll just see exactly where we can put the pieces in place.
Coach, speaking of competition, can you tell us who the starting offensive line is going to be coming in tomorrow, and what guys are kind of stepping up, who will be able to put?
Well, if you look at us coming in tomorrow, and you look at the offensive line, you know this. Kent Perkins is back, so we'll see exactly what Perk is. You have Kennedy back at the other tackle. Then you still have Espinosa in the middle. You have Seth Flowers. You have Doyle. You have a lot of guys there. So I don't know if I can say they're going to be the starting position, but we still have a lot of practices where we can get it going. And I don't know who's going to line up at that first unit, but we have some guys there in place.
So has Perkins, have you thought about using Perkins at guard, or are you doing strictly a tackle?
Oh, I don't know that. I think Coach Wickline, he's the position coach, and he's going to put those guys in the right place.
Outside of like maybe quarterback and maybe a couple other positions, do you think it's a pretty open camp as far as guys in fighting for spots?
Well, if you look at it, at the quarterback position, you have your quarterback there. Your offensive line, you have your center position. Seth Flowers is a player that played a lot for us last year. Kennedy played, also started at tackle. And then at the wide receiver, you still have Ship, who is standing there. Marcus Johnson is also there, and Harris. So you have some guys who have played at the wide receiver position. Then you look on the defensive side of the ball, 3 of your 4 starters are back on the defensive front. When you look at Said, you look at Malcolm Brown, and you look at Tank. So you got those 3 guys back. Your linebacker position, I mean, those guys are you lose Jeff Coat up front, but the linebacker position, you got Jenkins who's back, and then you got Steve Edmond who is still standing there, and then you get Hicks back with Santos and Cole. So you have a good mixture at the linebacker position. And in the secondary, you still have Diggs, you have on the other side your other corner position. But the thing about it is Duke Thomas, at the other corner position. Then you got McHale at the safety. But you have enough guys in place. It's not like because we suspended guys that we're going to walk into this camp like we don't have anybody, guys. We have players. Now it's a matter of us developing them.
Coach, it seems like Caleb Blue has been a guy that's been around a bunch of the camps and just kind of showing up as a leader. Can you talk to us about over on the weak side, defensive end position, how that's looking between Shiro Davis and Caleb Blue?
Well, that's going to be a good matchup for us because you look at those 2 guys battled in the spring with Shiro and Blewett, and then they're going to have a chance to go into fall camp, and they're going to have a chance to go battle it out again. But you're right, Blewett had a really good spring, and then also Shiro did. So it'll be a good matchup for us with those 2 guys battling that position.
Coach, you talk about getting started, you're excited. What are some of the major concerns that kind of jump out at you before you get started?
Well, you always, when you look at concerns, you think about just the leadership, who's going to take over, and you need your leaders to step up, and you like for that to come from your seniors because they've been here. They understand what it takes to go win. And then you look at Jets. We got to develop depth at a lot of positions. You had to have that. So we have a lot of players that have been into the program that now they need to step up, and they have to contribute. And what I did was probably about the month of May, kind of sitting around because it's when our coaches are out recruiting. So, and some of you probably heard this, I put together a tape on all players that played. So any guy that lined up on defense last year, I put together anywhere from a 10, some guys had 25 plays on there, but if you didn't play that much, it was 10 to 25 plays. So I met with them individually, and we sat down and watched this tape, and I just said to them, and when you talk about one of my concerns is just us playing hard. So I put the tape on, and I said, if this is who you are, I need to know right now. So it's no shock to me when we start camp. And I just put the tape on. I just let the tape run. I said, is that you, or is that somebody wearing your number? It can't be you. But I let the tape run. So I did it with the defensive players first, and then I went on the offensive side. I did it with the offensive players. But what I wanted to do is I wanted the guys to see that that's not acceptable what we were looking at, and they can play much better and play much harder. So it's one of my concerns is how hard and we're going to play hard, but we're going to have to play at a level where it's 4 to 6 seconds of just relentless effort. That's the only thing I'm looking for.
Is that the main takeaway from the theme that could go all season long? And everyone here has written about how this is a program that's put up 2 of the worst defenses in school history. I mean, if that is a theme all season long, it's just playing hard, guys to the ball, things like that. That's what you want to implement, right?
The only way you can ever win, you got to play great defense. If you don't play great defense, you have no chance to win it. And the defensive players have to understand it, and they do understand it. But the only way you're going to win, you talk about going and go win a championship, you have to play great defense. But players have to understand, and we'll do it. And I told them, as I said, on Sundays, I come in. When we meet on Sundays, I put a tape together, and I show it to the team. So if you did something and you don't want to be embarrassed, don't let me play that tape. I hope you're not on it. But they have to understand just what the level is and just how well you have to play.
What are your emotions like going into this camp? Are they different from when you went into spring? Spring kind of not quite there yet, but now it's full steam ahead.
Well, now it's all counts. In the spring, at least I could say, you know what, I got 15 practices so I can get them much better. But here now it counts. So every practice counts. So now because you're going to go into phase 5 where it's going to become a competition for you. But no, I'm really excited, and the emotions are a little different because now it's all about building a football team now.
When you say it's 4th and 1 every day, What does that mean in your mind?
It's 4th and 1. We got to get that 1 yard, and we have to do whatever it takes to get that 1 yard. Can't get knocked back. We got to win the line of scrimmage, and the running back got to run through people. But it's 4th and 1. But I want our players to understand that too. It's 4th and 1.
Charlie, when you talk about delivering these consequences, it seems so matter of fact. And I guess, were you expecting to have to lay down the law as much as you've had to this early on?
Well, it's, you know, dealing with young people. That's just the way society is. Sometimes there's going to be people who don't respect, you know, what your values are or what their rules are, and they're going to try you. So it's not so much they try you, but they're going to bend them. So now they're just going to see how far you're going to take them. It's like raising children. You put them out there, and they're going to go as far as you let them. And then at some point, you're going to say enough is enough. And like I said, not that we were looking, like it's not like we were policing, like we're out there looking, but when it's right in front of you, then you have to do something. And then you have other players who's sitting there waiting for you to do something because they want something done.
You kind of owe it to the other guys to be able to follow through on these things, right?
Oh, without a doubt, and they'll follow through. But now when you start building a football team and guys start really caring, there's a lot of pride in this program, and there's so much tradition in this program. And if they want to be a part of it, then we have to change. We had to change at some point.
You mentioned all the incoming freshmen and wide receiver. Has any of them jumped out in the little time you spent?
Well, I haven't had a chance to see them, but we're going to get a chance tomorrow. We'll get a first look at them tomorrow. But when you talk about skill guys, it's so like I said, it's so easy for a skill guy because it's all about speed and athletic ability and just how quick a guy is. And if he has it, then he has a chance to go play.
Will David Ash be limited at all when camp begins?
Ash should not be limited. I think he may jump out there and be a little sore in the beginning, but he should not be limited at all.
What are you looking for him to do to take that next step as what you like to see in the quarterback?
I told him, I said, only thing I need you to do is just manage the offense. And I don't need you to be a great player. Just do what we have and just play within yourself. I put his tape together and some of the things that happen on his tape is, he'll get outside the pocket and he'll take off run with the ball. And they'll try to run over a defensive back or a lineman. Like he would hit them front up. And I was like, I said, you're a quarterback, get down. Just slide underneath the guy. I need you to play the next play. I don't need somebody to come out. I don't need to see how tough you are, okay? That's fine. If you can outrun him, but run out of bounds or slide or something, but just don't take a hit. I mean, he took like 3 or 4 hits, and I just like stopped it. And I said, so what are you trying to prove? He didn't have an answer for me, but I just go manage the offense, and you know what? I think with Coach Wickline and Coach Watson, we can have us a good scheme, and just play within yourself. And you have enough around you. You have two really good running backs. You have some wide receivers that can stretch the defenses, and you have a really good player there in Shipley. But in the offensive line, need to protect him. But just go manage it.
Charlie, will your full team practice twice tomorrow, or we split them up, morning session?
What we do tomorrow just because we want the freshmen to learn the defense, we will go tomorrow morning be the vets first, so they'll come out early tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow evening will be the freshmen and with some of the other guys. But I want us to teach the freshmen where to go on the field, so I don't want them to walk out there tomorrow with the vets and then all of a sudden we blow a whistle and they kind of like standing like, where do I go? So we'll teach them tomorrow evening. This is when that whistle blows, this is where you run to, this is where your position will work, because they need to know where the position work. It's so many just details, little details that they need to know. And they need to know, when I say when a guy calls a defense, get lined up real quickly, because if you bring them out with the vets are going to be yelling at them, and then all of a sudden, I just don't want, I want the guys to have a little confidence when they walk out there instead of a vet taking it away from them.
How will that be the last time you do that then? Just one?
Yeah, we'll do it one practice, and then when we bounce back on Tuesday, it'll be the full team out there.
Because the NCAA allowed you all summer accountability, you guys got to look at them work a little bit, the freshmen. Did you see any guys you think, okay, he's showing some of that speed and athleticism?
It's still so hard because they're out there in shorts, and then you just don't, like when they're going, just how fast they're going, because the vets are kind of, some of them are kind of going through the motion. But once we tee it up and we start blowing that whistle on tomorrow, we'll be able to look at some tomorrow, because there's a lot of drills that we'll take them through.
Charlie, there's a lot of reports that Josh Turner was actually dismissed. What did he say to you or kind of show to you in the past couple weeks that made you feel comfortable with keeping him on?
Well, I just don't know the report reports, but he never was dismissed, so I don't know where that came from.
You said you saw players that didn't play hard that you on tape. Were there large numbers of players that you thought didn't play hard? 40, 50 players?
I don't know if it's 40 or 50, but it was just some guys just didn't play hard. And, the number, I don't know exactly, but we can play a lot better. When you lose, you don't play hard. So it's easy to see it and figure it out.
What are some of your main players?
Oh, it's always going to be a main player because it's the ones you're looking for to play a lot harder.
Besides wide receiver, what's another spot where a freshman could come in and play right away?
Well, if you look at the wide receiver position, that's where you sign the most. Defensive back, because it's a skill position, the skill guys. And then you look for depth at the other positions.
So, Sean, you've been on this job now for 7 months. Is it everything you thought it would be? Is it more? And talk about it a little bit.
I tell you what, it is just being on the job for 7 months, you have a lot to deal with, but which I expected that, and I tell you what, just being, I know I wasn't the head coach at University of Florida or at Notre Dame, but it's kind of, it's one of those type of jobs, which it's what comes with the territory and with the media exposure, which wherever you go, and the just what is asked of you, but it doesn't bother me. It's nothing that can't be done.
Any surprises?
No, I haven't had any surprises. Oh, you guys want the story first? That's it. No, I'm good.
In Louisville, you guys, you probably had guys covering basketball maybe more than football. How's it with all of our mugs showing up every day? Well,
like I said, it's the way it was at Florida. When you walk out of a practice or you go and, like, as a coordinator, you had to speak to the media, but this is what you saw. But but you want that. You're in a high-profile job. You're the best. This is the best job in the country, so you expect to get the exposure, but that's the way it should be. That's why I want our players to understand this is the best place in the country. So that's the way we got to start acting and start carrying ourselves.
I know you mentioned before that every player has been cleared. Is Deontay Foreman, is he cleared yet, or what's his status?
I think he's taking a summer class right now, and I think we're just waiting for him to complete that class.
That's supposed to be this week, right?
It should be.
How many full scrimmages do you all out full scrimmages?
Not many, because I won't have many scrimmages because our work that we do each and every day, I can tell where we are because we'll do inside drill, we do some 3-on-3s, we'll bang it up and then we'll pull back, but I may have 1 or 2 scrimmages.
Time for 2 last questions.
Does Sean feel like he has everything he needs here to run the offense he wants? In other words, does he have enough proven talent at each position to run the offense he wants, or does he have to change it to fit some shortcoming?
No, I think that we have enough here in place to do what we need to do, not only on offense, defense also, but we have enough in place. We have enough players.
Last one. Are you closer to the national championship than you were in January?
I knew you would ask that question. I know, but with these suspensions, I don't know. Are we closer?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.